satellites revealed a golden island rising, shocking the world.
At 3:42 a.m., satellite feeds caught something impossible. An island had appeared where the ocean had been empty the night before. At first, it looked like a data glitch, a smear of color on a live map. But as more systems refreshed, the shape remained, perfectly defined, immovable, sitting alone in the open ocean, far from any tectonic boundary or known landmass. By sunrise, every monitoring agency on Earth was staring at the same anomaly. When reconnaissance aircraft reached the coordinates, the pilots struggled to describe what they saw. The island was real, vast, untouched by erosion, and glowing softly under the morning sun. Its surface reflected light with a dull, heavy brilliance. Not white like salt, not yellow like sand, but unmistakably metallic. Within hours, a single phrase dominated internal reports: high-purity gold. At first, governments attempted silence. Airspace was restricted. Naval exclusion zones were declared under vague language about environmental hazards. But in a connected world, secrecy evaporates quickly. A leaked thermal image, a blurred cockpit photo, a shaky video posted for a few seconds before deletion. That was enough. By midday, the story was everywhere. An island of gold had appeared overnight. Scientists were the first to push back, their objections rooted in the fundamental laws of physics and chemistry. Gold, they insisted, does not behave like this. It does not rise from the ocean floor in a clean geometric mass. It does not form mountains without immense pressure, volcanic heat, or geological time measured in eons. The sheer density of the element, 19 times that of water, should have caused the entire structure to collapse under its own colossal weight, sinking back into the abyssal plain. And yet, sonar scans showed the island resting stably, displacing the ocean around it with an unnerving permanence, as if it had always belonged there. Geologists examined the seafloor beneath it, searching for any telltale signs of its origin. There were no fault lines, no volcanic signatures, no evidence of tectonic uplift or mantle plumes. The bedrock was undisturbed, ancient, and silent. The island had not risen from the depths, it had simply arrived. As samples were quietly extracted by autonomous drones, the results only deepened the scientific unease. The material was nearly pure, a level of refinement that defied natural formation. Isotopic ratios were consistent with naturally occurring gold, but in concentrations that should not exist outside of highly controlled laboratory environments. There were no alloying elements, no telltale impurities, just gold, compacted into solid land, a geological impossibility made real. Physicists began running the mass calculations, and the numbers were staggering. Even a small island composed entirely of gold would outweigh most mountains. This one was not small. The added mass was enough to subtly alter local gravity, a new planetary anchor point. Sensitive instruments detected slight but undeniable deviations in tidal behavior. Ocean currents bent around it differently, their ancient paths rerouted as if acknowledging a new, immovable constant in the sea. By the third day, the markets reacted. Gold prices collapsed. At first, traders assumed fraud, then panic. Gold had always been valuable because it was scarce, difficult to extract, slow to accumulate. But scarcity is a fragile illusion. With a single appearance, centuries of economic logic fractured. Futures were canceled. Reserves were questioned. Central banks froze trading, trying to stop a free fall that could not be stopped. Nations with gold-backed confidence watched their currencies weaken in real time. Those without reserves scrambled not to acquire the island, but to explain why their money should still be trusted. Entire financial systems, built on the quiet promise that gold was limited, suddenly stood on nothing at all. Navies moved closer, drawn by an irresistible gravity of wealth and power. No one admitted it publicly, but war simulations began running behind closed doors. The old metrics of power were suddenly obsolete. Whoever controlled the island would control the future of wealth. Not just currency, but leverage, power, influence measured not in missiles, but in mass. A new Cold War was beginning, fought not over ideology, but over a single, immovable object. But the closer ships approached, the more problems arose. The island began to reveal its own defenses. Gold is an excellent conductor. The island interacted strangely with electromagnetic fields. Radar signals bent around it as if avoiding a void. Communication equipment malfunctioned, filling with static that seemed almost patterned. Drones lost connection mid-flight and fell silently into the sea. The island did not emit energy, but it distorted it, subtly and consistently, as if responding to the presence of observation itself. It was a passive resistance, but profoundly effective. Environmental scientists raised another alarm. Gold does not erode like stone. It does not support ecosystems. There was no soil, no life. Rainwater pooled and slid away without absorption, a sterile sheet on an inert surface. Birds avoided landing. Fish altered migration paths around the island, confused by changes in magnetic orientation. The ocean, it seemed, was adjusting to something it did not understand, treating the island like a wound in the world. Then came the first human landing. The footage was never officially released, but fragments leaked. Boots pressing into a surface that did not compress. Tools striking metal that rang not like ore, but like a vault wall stretched across miles. The explorers moved carefully, unsettled by the profound, unnatural silence. No wind erosion, no scent of earth, just reflection and weight. It was less a discovery and more a confrontation with an impossible fact. They reported an overwhelming sense of pressure, not physical, but psychological, a deep-seated wrongness. Sound behaved oddly. Voices felt swallowed, as if the island absorbed more than light. No immediate danger was found, yet none of the team requested to stay longer than necessary. They had touched the future, and it felt cold, silent, and utterly indifferent. Back home, public reaction fractured along familiar lines. Some saw salvation, an end to poverty, a clean slate for a world drowning in debt. They argued for a new global trust to manage the wealth, a chance to finally correct centuries of inequality. Others saw a curse, a destabilizing force that would reward the powerful, ignite new conflicts, and erase the fragile balance that kept civilization contained. Religious groups offered interpretations, a test, a warning, a temptation. Ancient myths resurfaced, stories of cities made of gold that brought ruin to those who reached them. The comparisons were dismissed by officials, but not by the people watching events unfold from their homes, searching for a narrative that made sense of the impossible. Weeks passed. No explanation emerged. The silence from the scientific community was as profound as the island itself. The island did not sink. It did not change. It did not react. It simply existed, unmoved by scrutiny, indifferent to ownership claims. Treaties stalled, military posturing intensified, economies recalibrated, slowly, painfully, as gold lost its meaning and trust became the only remaining currency. In quieter circles, a different question took hold. Not how the island appeared, but why. If something could place that much mass, that precisely without trace or warning, then the island itself might be the least important part of the event. It might just be a message, because nothing that powerful arrives by accident. The world adjusted its maps. Shipping lanes bent around a new landmark. Children grew up knowing there was a place on Earth where the ground itself was worth more than nations. Over time, the shock dulled into a low, persistent hum of uncertainty. The island became a constant, unsettling presence, a reminder that the rules everyone agreed on could change overnight. And long after the arguments about ownership faded, one truth remained heavy and unresolved. The old systems of power, finance, and law had been built on foundations that were now revealed to be sand. The island hadn't destroyed them, but it had exposed their fragility for all to see. It forced a global recalibration, not of wealth, but of worth. A quiet, ongoing audit of what humanity truly valued when its most ancient symbol of value and again.
I'll be back.